What makes you want to play a game? It might be the recognizable universe, or the cast of characters that you've grown to love. It might be a unique twist on a franchise or genre that you cherish. But sometimes you just want something new, something fresh, a shining beacon in this genre. Sometimes what you want is Dawn of War.
Babe, this game is neither new or fresh. It is, in fact, old as fuck.
Wait, why am I playing this game?
Because even though this game is like 20 years old, it is still considered one of the best Warhammer games of all time.
I'll find out if that's what the fuck? Why is he looking at me like that?
I think he's trying to riz you up, babe.
Riz me up? He's a 10-foot tall man in red power armor. Is it getting hot in here? Whew.
The riz is working.
The riz is not working, okay? Just leave it to me, babe. I'll give the game a shot. I love Warhammer 40k. The grim, the dark, the 10,000 years of brutal warfare leading to our slow regression as a species. There's so much to love. Beyond the lore and the theming, there's the tabletop game, which can be fun, but the hobby, it's expensive. Some of us don't have the money for our gargantuan squigoth. So instead of going into debt, you might want to give Dawn of War a chance. I must say, one of the best parts of Dawn of War is seeing the units come to life. I love a good first-person shooter like Bolt Gun, and getting up close and personal with Titus is one of my favorite experiences. But those games don't capture the strategy that the tabletop game gives. And when you're playing Dawn of War, you feel like a commander. Countless times I would be yelling orders at my monitors while my wife was sitting next to me laughing. Go, get in there, boys! By the god of first pecs, what is that thing? Fire! Not Jeremy! Dawn of War is a real-time strategy game, a RTS. I'd never played an RTS game before, and the closest thing I've ever gotten to an RTS was Civilization 4. And while Civ 4 wants to engage your brain, Dawn of War wants to melt your brain. How the game mostly works, within the campaign mind you, is that you first establish a base of operations for your troops. You then create buildings that make more units, different types of units, and upgrades for your units. All these things cost resources, so you must go out and gain control of objectives, while also creating buildings for electricity, which is another resource used to create cool stuff like dreadnoughts. All the vehicles do different things. You have the tanks. So the tanks, they blow up things. Then you have the dreadnoughts. The dreadnoughts blow up everything. And then you have the space marines. Okay, maybe they all do the same thing. But jokes aside, all the troops have different usage cases. I like the Land Cruiser a lot because it has speed so it can support the objectives while taking out infantry with ease. A normal Bloodraven squad can be outfitted with missile launchers, plasma guns, heavy bolters, and flamers, making them very versatile. My favorite unit, it's the Land Raider because of lasers. And that's about it. I don't know if the lasers are any good because the Land Raider basically kills everything that it looks at anyways. But lasers are cool, so the Land Raider is very cool. As a new player, Dawn of War was a great starting point into the RTS genre. The tutorial will teach you everything you need to know if you don't fall asleep while playing it.
Go to your base and select the Stronghold. Congratulations! You have just learned how to select units and structures in the game.
I'm pretty sure they hired the same dude who voiced the Pacer test. If you skip the tutorial, the first mission is basically a tutorial. And that leads us to this. So far, I've been giving Dawn of War a glowing review. This game radiates those good vibes we associate with the 41st millennium. The first couple of missions were very linear. The game started to get really fun when the maps opened up. I could go in any direction I thought was best, slowly probing forward while I tried my best not to overextend myself. They now allowed me to fully build out my base and develop all the units in my army. I thought it would be confusing to have so many units to choose from, but it turns out more guns and bigger guns kill things really easily. You see this avatar of Cain? I call it the avatar of shame. You see this huge demon? Just let the 2000s jank feed me an easy kill. You see this gigantic squig-off? He's actually scary as hell. Don't mess with that thing. As I came out of the noob phase, I realized what made RTS games so fun, and it was evolving your playstyle on the fly while countering your opponent. I would say the campaign doesn't do that very well. I see an upgrade for a unit, I should read the ability and see what the usage case for the upgrade is. Instead, I just grab whatever makes me feel like a badass. What should matter is what is the proper counter pick to the enemy's army, but the solution was usually 2 tanks plus 2 dreadnoughts plus a bunch of space marines with 2 heavy bolters and 2 missile launchers each. Despite all of this, the campaign was fun despite it being pretty easy. With all this experience, now I am finally set up to play Winter Assault on a harder difficulty, which makes now a good time for you to subscribe so you don't miss out on Dawn of War on a harder difficulty, a difficulty that the God Emperor intended for it to be on, and so that you don't miss out on the 10,000 Space Marine 2 videos I'm about to post. On to the campaign is a fairly interesting story. Captain Gabriel Angelos of the Blood Ravens chapter lands on the planet of Tartarus. If a planet named Tartarus isn't enough heavy foreshadowing for you, then let me just tell you now, this planet is an absolute shithole. This planet has long-standing ties to chaos. Warp storms like to completely engulf it. Orcs are rampaging on the surface, and did I mention chaos?
We're here to kill chaos.
Gabriel is a strong leader with an iron will and immaculate line delivery.
You must know your enemy to defeat them, Colonel. Orcs only retreat to regroup. They will keep coming until you or they are dead.
The first third of the game is Gabriel destroying every orc in sight. As you make your way through the campaign, you find out that the real threat is chaos. Because it always has to be chaos, doesn't it? It was chaos in Space Marine, it's chaos here, and I can't wait for Tzeentch to show his ugly mug in Space Marine 2 and steal the spotlight from the Tyranids. But I digress. We started to chase down chaos with Isidore, our librarian, and he is slowly getting converted over to chaos. We find out through Isidore's perspective that a Chaos Lord Baal and his henchman, Sindri, are trying to find a key that will allow Baal to turn into some sort of big demon. If I could describe Baal in 2 words, it would be comically evil. We're talking about a dude who's trying so hard to appear evil that he growls in between his sentences.
Blood ravens approach from the south.
How did they get so close?
If you haven't guessed yet, Sindri is the real mastermind here, and Baal basically doesn't matter to the story. As we chase them down, we have to confront the Eldar leader. My waifu. Oh, wait, what? What's wrong with you? Why did I say my waifu? What is... This can't be happening. I'm turning into a warhammer weeb. What's on my monitor?
I'm gonna be a chaos wife?
Wait, what? What? Why am I looking at the Tau? No, 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 no. I'm coming, Mommy.
We have but one recourse left. Do you understand what is asked of you?
Yes, waifu. I completely understand. I'll do anything you want. My life is yours.
It belongs to all Elder now, brave one.
Oh yeah, for the waifu. After lots of fighting, they finally talked about the key. As we continue to chase down the key, we talk to an Inquisitor who I definitely should have brought up earlier in the video, named Toth. Toth was suspicious that Gabriel was going to get corrupted by chaos. Eventually, Gabriel is able to gain Toth's trust and learns from Toth that the key has been on Tartarus for a long time and that the Imperium has been searching for it. With the utmost haste, we hunt down Bale, and in a matter of seconds, he gets pieced up. But it does leave time for Sindri to escape with Isidore. I believe this highlights my issue with the story. It makes absolutely no sense why Isidore wants the demonic egg of power. He says he'll use the power to help the Imperium, but siding with the demons to defeat the demons doesn't make any sense. This event forces us to end our friendship with Isidore permanently. After defeating him, we find the demon-ascended Sindri. First, I blow up my own tank because I didn't know what this did. After, I kill him and proceed to destroy the egg, which then unlocks the demon inside the egg because it gained too much power from the war and all the bloodshed, and so it destroys the planet and it goes into a warp storm, but then Gabriel gets away. The end. To sum up my thoughts on the story, I really enjoyed the characters, mostly because of the voice acting, but the story itself is passable and entertaining, but nothing I would rave about. Everyone involved acts like blockheads, which is very frustrating given the fact that Space Marines are supposed to be incredibly smart, yet time and time again are depicted as idiots. Overall, I think the game is an excellent entry into the RTS genre. So I'm thinking, the next video I'm going to make, oh my god. Oh my god. It's finally here.
I have been in stasis for 100 years, worked with the Death Watch, and finally been reinstated as a lieutenant in the Ultramarines. I am Lieutenant Demetrian Titus, and I insist that every guardsman watching now must subscribe to this channel and aid in the purging of the disgusting Xenos life forms known as Tyranids. If you don't subscribe, you are a heretic and Nurgle's baby back bitch. The God Emperor is watching. Do it now, subscribe.